Hello and welcome to TTVNEWS with some latest events in Tayninh province and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, on the occasion of the Lunar New Year 2025, on the morning of January 14, a delegation led by Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Provincial Party Secretary and Chairman of the Provincial Youth Council, visited and presented gifts to 10 policy families, people with meritorious services to the revolution, families of martyrs, and citizens aged 100 and more in Tayninh City.
At this place, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm warmly inquired about the health and wished the family a joyful, a warm and happy New Year, and hope that they would continue to uphold the revolutionary traditions of the nation and contribute positively to the cause of the building and defending the homeland, and help develop the local area also. On this occasion, he presented each policy family with a Lunar New Year gift worth for 1.5 million Vietnam dong, and also gave a longevity course from the chairman of the Provincial People's Committee along with the Lunar New Year gifts to 4 citizens aged 100 and more.
Also on the morning of January 14, a delegation led by Deputy Provincial Party Secretary Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng visited and presented gifts to policy families, people with meritorious services to the revolution, and citizens aged 100 and more in Hoa Thanh Thao. At each place, Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, along with the local leaders of Hoa Thanh Thao, inquired about the health and with the policy families, people with revolutionary merits, and citizens over 100 years old in Hoa Thanh a joyful, healthy, warm and happy Lunar New Year 2025 with their families. On the morning of January 14 to mark the 65th anniversary of the Chu Hai victory, January 26, 1960, January 26, 2025, a delegation led by Colonel Đỗ Thành Việt, Deputy Political Commissioner of the Provincial Military Command, visited and presented gifts to the historical witnesses who participated in the Chu Hai battle.
The delegation visited historical witnesses who had participated in the Chu Hai battle and listening to their stories about the heroic period in the nation's history. At each home, the delegation inquired about their health and living conditions and expressed their gratitude for the great sacrifice and contribution made by the veterans. And the gifts presented were a token of appreciation, affirming the party, the state, and the people's respect for those who have write the glorious history of the homeland and the country as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the visit to extend Lunar New Year greetings to the officials, soldiers, and people of Trường Sa Archipelago by the Task Force Operation 4 of the Vietnamese Navy, along with journalists from central and local media outlets on the occasion of the Lunar New Year 2025, has come to an end. However, the deep emotions from the journey still linger in the hearts of everyone involved. Among the meaningful activities, the memorial ceremony for the heroes and martyrs who sacrificed their life on Gamma Reef left the most profound impression. And now let's follow the reports from our correspondent at TTV11 who just returned from this meaningful journey.
The March 14 of 1998 went down in the history of our nation is a painful yet proud milestone when 64 officers and soldiers of the Vietnam People's Navy heroically sacrificed their lives in a battle to protect the sovereignty of the Vietnam Sea and Islands in Trường Sa Archipelago, especially at the Gamma Reef. 36 years have passed, yet the autumn of the courage and the spirit of self-sacrifice for the homeland by these heroes still resonates deeply in the heart of every Vietnamese citizen. I feel deeply moved, and in this moment we gather to remember the sacrifice of the fallen heroes, and I think we need to educate the younger generations more about the sacrifices that made by these heroes who protected the sky and the seas of our homeland. And the emotion that shows during his trip went beyond the just sadness and choking tears. In every gaze, in every heart of the members of the task force, a fierce sense of pride shone through. The pride in the glorious history of the nation and pride in the historic feats, and that pride urged each person to live worthy of the sacrifice made by these heroes and to firmly protect the sovereignty of our homeland also. All the members of the task force share and share some deeply emotional and proud feeling. It makes me feel more deeply sacrifices, the blood and the sweat and the youth of Vietnamese Navy officers and soldiers who fought to protect the peace and the independence of the homeland in general, and especially to safeguard our safe maritime sovereignty. The sacrifices of the heroes were not only an immense loss for their families and loved ones, but also a pain felt by the entire nation. Yet, their sacrifices have become an infinite source of strength, fueling the will and the belief of the future generations. And their blood has merged with the sea and soaked into the land of our motherland, and ensuring that the Vietnamese sovereignty over its sea and islands remains inviolable forever. We, the new generation of soldiers, will always follow the example of the heroes who came before us and ready to overcome the challenges and willing to sacrifice and endure the hardships to excellently complete the task assigned to us, and we are determined to firmly protect the sovereignty of our nation's sea and islands. Participating in the memorial ceremony of the fallen heroes on the Trường Sa archipelago, I feel deeply moved and immensely proud to be a child of Vietnam. The event of March the 14th of Gacma will forever remain an inseparable part of Vietnam history, a precious lesson about the patriotism, bravery, and the will to protect the homeland. Today's and future generations must engage this lesson in their hearts and turning grief into the strength and transforming the past into motivation to build a powerful Vietnam.
Dear audience, the People's Committee of Tay Ninh Province recently held a meeting with local enterprises on the occasion of the Lunar New Year 2025, attended by Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, member of the Party Central Committee, Provincial Party Secretary, and Chairman of the Provincial Youth Council, and Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Deputy Provincial Party Secretary, Chairman of the Provincial Youth Committee. The meeting was also attended by incumbent and former leaders of the province. In his speech, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc emphasized that enterprises are a key driving force in socio-economic development, contributing to the process of industrialization, modernization, and increasing labor productivity, both nationally and locally. In addition to their tremendous efforts to restore production and business activities after the COVID-19 pandemic, the business community has contributed significantly to the socio-economic development of the region, demonstrating a high sense of responsibility and accompanying the political system in implementing social welfare programs, activities of gratitude, charity, and community-driven humanitarian efforts. Entering 2025, along with the entire country stepping into a new era, the era of the nation's rise, provincial leaders and the political system continue to share the difficulties, support, and accompany the development of businesses. They will continue to promote administrative reforms, build a transparent, professional, friendly, and highly competitive investment environment so that Tay Ninh truly becomes an attractive, safe, and effective investment destination. On January 14, a delegation from the Royal Gendarmerie of the Kingdom of Cambodia, led by Major General Savuti, Deputy Commander of the National Gendarmerie, visited and extended Lunar New Year greetings to Tay Ninh Provincial Police on the occasion of the Lunar New Year 2025. The delegation was received by Colonel Nguyễn Văn Trải, Director of Tay Ninh Provincial Police.
And during the meeting, the leaders of the Royal Gendarmerie and the Director of the Provincial Police exchanged information related to the socio-economic situation and security and order, as well as some notable results in cooperation to combat crime and ensure security along the border between the provinces. On the occasion of the Vietnam Lunar New Year, the delegation from the Royal Gendarmerie of the Kingdom of Cambodia sent their best wishes to all officers and soldiers of the Provincial Police and their families, and wishing them good health, happiness, and many successes in their work. They also expressed a hope for the continued strengthening of the good relationship between the Royal Gendarmerie and the Tay Ninh Provincial Police. Colonel Nguyễn Văn Trải, Director of the Provincial Police, also expressed his desire to continue enhancing the exchange of information related to the security in order, strengthening cooperation in the fight against crime and focusing on resolving border security issues, contributing to building a peaceful, friendly, cooperative and mutual beneficial border.
TayNinh Provincial Military Command recently coordinated with TayNinh College Apparel and TayNinh Provincial Youth Union to organize a series of activities titled Border Spring Warms Military Civilian Solidarity on the occasion of the Lunar New Year 2025. As part of the program, several activities took place, including visits and gift giving to encourage soldiers at the 2025 New Soldier Training Battalion. The program New Clothes, Happy Spring, Let's Go to School at Tân Khai Primary School in Tân Lập, Cam Tân Uyên District, visits and gifts to families of soldiers facing difficult circumstances in Tân Bình, Cam Tân Uyên District, and visits and gifts to military posts and to 105th Infantry Battalion of Tân Biên District Military Command. Dear audience, as preparations for the Lunar New Year 2025 are underway, the Vietnamese Youth and Students Association in Rennes organized a community-led program with a highlight being the Art Night theme, the Tet of Origins 2025. The Vietnamese ambassador to France, Đinh Toàn Thắng, attended the event. This marked the first event to kick off the activities of the Vietnamese community in France to celebrate the new spring. The evening began with a lively performance of dance and songs featuring performances by Vietnamese students and youth in France, which transported the audience into the space of traditional Tet celebrations and the cultural treasures of the nation. Through a musical journey and dances rich in national identity, blending the cultural essence of the three regions, North, Central, and South, the program successfully showcased the pride and love for Vietnam of those living far from home. That is a time for every Vietnamese person to return to their roots, gather with their families, and share the beautiful traditional values of the nation. In foreign lands, that is a moment that connects Vietnamese people within the community, bringing them together to ease their longing for parents, family, and homeland. Very warm and comforting. The Vietnamese Youth and Students Association in Rennes was founded in 2004. The association currently gathers about 50 young people studying at various universities in Rennes in fields such as information technology, management, and construction. In addition to creating a united community and connecting Vietnamese youth and students in the area, the association also houses new international students from Vietnam by providing support and answering questions related to organization, administration, and facilitating the adjustment to a completely new living environment and life in France. Besides fostering development and connection within the Vietnamese youth and student community here, SVRN also organizes many charitable activities focusing on supporting their homeland, Vietnam.
Every year, Padang National Tourist Area attracts millions of visitors both from within and outside the province to explore, travel, and participate in religious activities, and to proactively address the fire explosion accidents as well as the accident occur. TayNinh Fire Prevention and Rescue Police Department, in collaboration with TayNinh Sunworld Joint Stock Company, Sunworld TayNinh Branch, has implemented the fire prevention and firefighting and rescue measures at the location. The Spring Festival at the Padang National Tourist Area is the traditional event in TayNinh and is the time when most events of the year are held. And during this period, the number of visitors is very high and posing significant risks of the fire explosion due to the electrical sources overloading and large quantity of goods being prepared for a Lunar New Year. In response to this, the TayNinh Fire Prevention and Rescue Police Department has intensified inspection of the fire prevention equipment at electrical rooms, station, firefighting pumps and fuel storage tanks, and rescue equipment at the station, the warehouse, storing the flammable and explosive materials, etc. And they also conducted training and legal education on fire prevention and rescue for the staff and members of the local fire prevention teams, ensuring the readiness for the fire safety and rescue operation during the 2025 Spring Festival.
The Lunar New Year 2025 is approaching, and at this time, essential goods for the holiday are already fully prepared by businesses and traders, ready to meet the shopping demands of the people. According to information from the Department of Industry and Trade of TayNinhTV Province, from July 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025, commercial enterprises in the province have proactively made plans to stock essential goods, especially those for debt, to ensure the supply and demand balance, preventing unreasonable price hikes and meeting the consumer needs before, during, and after Lunar New Year 2025. Regarding debt goods preparation, leading businesses have stocked up on essential food items to serve the markets before, during, and after the Lunar New Year. The goods being increased to meet the demand accounts for approximately 30% to 35% of the market needs during that, including items such as candy, gems, alcohol, beer, and soft drinks. For the ethnic minority communities in the Central Highlands, particularly in Kontum Province, the roundhouse is considered the heart of the village. With its significant role in belief and daily life, the roundhouse is always reserved by the local people to promote traditional values and create a cultural space that reflects the unique characteristic of each ethnic group. Duckwork Village, Duckrong Commune, Clay District is home to nearly 1,400 Yechiang ethnic people. Like many other ethnic communities in the Central Highlands, the Yechiang people believe that the roundhouse is the heart and soul of the village, not only as a communal house for the villagers, but also as a place for meetings, social activities, and addressing important community matters. To do anything, the first thing is to go to the roundhouse to discuss and reach a consensus. The villagers must have a roundhouse. Without it, people will go here and there will be no unity. In recent days, over 200 households of certain people in Konrong Village, Ngok Reo Commune, Taha District have been delighted as their traditional roundhouse has been repaired and put back into use. What is particularly encouraging is that during the repair process, most of the younger generation in the area have come to understand and appreciate the importance of preserving the cultural values passed down by their ancestors. The people are very excited. It must be said that they are overjoyed. Now there are few elderly people, only about 2%, so when the young people get the opportunity to learn and directly engage in activities that are considered the most difficult in life, they feel very happy and fortunate. Thanks to investment in preserving the traditional roundhouse, other cultural heritage in Kontum Province, such as traditional crafts, gong music, and festivals, have had the space to develop, be preserved, and promoted. And that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.